Have you ever wondered why certain words from your pastor hit you differently? Why some sermons seem to speak directly to your situation, as if your pastor somehow knew exactly what you were going through? Here's the truth that will change your perspective forever. When your pastor says certain things, it's not just good preaching, it's divine confirmation. God is already working behind the scenes in your life, and He's using your pastor's words to let you know. This is one of the most overlooked truths in the Christian walk. We often think that when our pastor speaks words of promise or prophecy over us, that's the starting point. We believe that's when God begins to work. But that's not how heaven operates. God doesn't wait for the announcement to start the work. He announces the work because it's already in progress. By the time your pastor speaks those words, God has already been moving, arranging, and orchestrating on your behalf. Think about the biblical pattern. When the angel appeared to Mary and told her she would conceive Jesus, the Holy Spirit had already overshadowed her. When Samuel told Saul he would be king, God had already chosen him. When Nathan confronted David about his sin, God had already set the consequences and the path to restoration in motion. The prophetic word doesn't initiate God's action. It reveals what God is already doing. This should radically shift how you receive words from your pastor. You're not waiting for God to start. You're catching up to what He's already begun. You're not hoping it might happen. You're recognizing that it's happening right now. When your pastor speaks those specific words that pierce your heart, God is pulling back the curtain and showing you the invisible work He's been doing all along. Let's dive deeper into what this means for you today. So what are these words that indicate God is already working? When your pastor says, "I sense a shift coming in your life," that's not a prediction, that's observation. They're sensing in the Spirit what God is already doing. When they declare, "Your season of struggle is ending," it's because God has already set the end date. When they prophesy, "Doors are about to open," those doors are already unlocked in the spiritual realm, waiting for the right moment to swing wide in the natural. Here's what's fascinating about how God works. He operates simultaneously in two realms, the spiritual and the natural. What happens in the spiritual realm always precedes what manifests in the natural realm. So when your pastor, who is sensitive to the Holy Spirit, picks up on something God is doing spiritually, they're giving you advance notice of what's about to break through into your natural circumstances. Maybe your pastor has told you, God is preparing you for something bigger. That means the preparation has already started. You might not see it yet, but God is already developing the character you'll need. He's already teaching you lessons that will be crucial for your next level. He's already removing things from your life that won't fit where you're going. The work is happening now, even if you can't fully perceive it. Or perhaps they've said, "Your prayers have been heard." This is profound. God doesn't just hear and do nothing. When your prayers reach heaven, they set things in motion. Angels are dispatched. Circumstances begin to align. People you need to meet start moving toward your path. Resources you'll need begin to mobilize. All of this happens in response to your prayers, but it happens behind the scenes. Your pastor's confirmation that your prayers are heard is actually confirmation that the answer is already on its way. Now here's where many believers get frustrated and confused. If God is already working, why don't we see results immediately? Why is there still a gap between the word spoken and the manifestation we're waiting for? The answer lies in understanding divine timing and process. God's work is thorough. He doesn't just give you what you want. He prepares you to handle it, steward it, and maximize it. When your pastor says God is working, it means several things are happening at once. God is working on your situation, but He's also working on you. He's developing your character. He's strengthening your faith. He's teaching you patience and trust. He's showing you that you can depend on Him completely. This internal work is just as important as the external breakthrough you're waiting for. In fact, without the internal transformation, the external blessing could actually harm you. Think about Joseph. From the moment he had his dream, God was working to fulfill it. But between the dream and the palace were the pit, Potiphar's house, and the prison. Every step was part of the process. Every season was developing something in Joseph that he would need as a leader. God was working the entire time, even when it looked like everything was falling apart. Your pastor's words confirm that God is doing the same in your life right now. There's also the matter of divine alignment. God isn't just working on your situation in isolation. He's coordinating multiple factors, multiple people, multiple circumstances that all need to come together at exactly the right moment. He's positioning you. He's positioning others. He's creating opportunities. He's removing obstacles. All of this takes time in the natural realm, even though it's already accomplished in the spiritual realm. Your job isn't to rush God or figure out his timeline. Your job is to trust that he's working and stay faithful in the process. Understanding that God is already working should change how you live right now. You're not in a holding pattern. You're not just killing time until something happens. You're in an active partnership with God as he brings his plans to fruition in your life. When your pastor confirms that God is working, it's an invitation to cooperate with what heaven is doing. First, maintain your faithfulness in the small things. God is watching how you handle what you have before he releases what's next. If you're sloppy with little, you'll be sloppy with much. If you're faithful with little, you'll be faithful with much. Keep showing up. Keep doing your work with excellence. Keep serving. Keep giving. Keep loving. Keep praying. These aren't meaningless activities while you wait. These are the very things that position you for promotion. Second, stay in alignment with God's character and principles. If God is working to bring you a business opportunity, are you operating with integrity right now? If he's working to bring you a godly relationship, are you becoming the godly person someone would want to be with? If he's working to give you influence, are you developing a servant's heart? God's blessings flow through channels of obedience and character. Make sure your channel is clean and ready. Third, practice expectant faith. This isn't passive hoping. This is active anticipation. Wake up each day expecting to see evidence of God's work. Look for the signs. Notice the small shifts. Celebrate the minor victories. Thank God for what you can't see yet. This kind of faith actually accelerates the manifestation of God's promises because it creates an atmosphere where heaven can move freely. And finally, reject discouragement. The enemy's greatest weapon during the in-between time is discouragement. He wants you to believe nothing is happening. He wants you to think God has forgotten you. He wants you to give up right before the breakthrough manifests. When your pastor says God is already working, that's your ammunition against discouragement. Every time doubt creeps in, remind yourself God is working right now. What he started, he will finish. What he promised, he will perform. Let's bring this home with clarity and power. When your pastor speaks words of confirmation, encouragement, or prophecy over your life, you need to understand the full weight of what's happening in that moment. Heaven is communicating with you. God is revealing what he's already set in motion. The Holy Spirit is giving you insider information about the divine work happening behind the curtain of the natural realm. This should fill you with unshakable confidence. You're not hoping God might decide to help you someday. You're not wondering if he cares about your situation. You're not questioning whether anything will ever change. When your pastor says those words that resonate in your spirit, you have confirmation. God is already working. The answer is already in process. The breakthrough is already on its way. The miracle is already being formed. So, here's what I need you to do. Stop living like someone who's waiting for God to notice you. Start living like someone who knows. God is actively involved in every detail of your life right now. Walk with confidence. Talk with faith. Act with expectation. Carry yourself like someone who knows their breakthrough is guaranteed because God himself is orchestrating it. Remember the words your pastor spoke over you. Write them down if you need to. Review them when doubt tries to creep in. Let those words be an anchor for your faith when the storms come. Let them be a reminder when you feel alone or forgotten. Your pastor spoke them because God wanted you to have confirmation. He wanted you to know that you're not crazy for believing. You're not foolish for hoping. You're not wasting your time by trusting. God is already working. Right now, in this very moment, he's moving on your behalf. He's opening doors. He's making connections. He's shifting circumstances. He's preparing provision. He's arranging opportunities. He's defeating enemies. He's clearing paths. He's answering prayers. All of it is happening right now, whether you can see it or not. Your responsibility is simple. Believe it, receive it, and live accordingly. Don't let another day go by in doubt and fear. Don't waste this season questioning whether God is going to come through. He's already coming through. The work is already underway. The victory is already secured. Stand firm in faith. Keep your hope alive. Maintain your trust. And watch as what God has been doing behind the scenes begins to manifest right before your eyes. When your pastor said those words, they were confirming what heaven was already doing. God is already working, and your life is about to show the evidence. Believe it and receive it now.